Alright, so we got a nice looking grid here, but if you look at every time frame, you see everyone's in a downtrend, right? This whole 1 minute downtrend is all this part, really. It's this. It starts right about here. Like this hiccup, boom, is this bullish 5 minute candle right there. That's one, that's it. Alright, so this whole bit is this bit right here. This 15 minute, this 5 minute, all this, boom, 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 and then this little dip right here is this. So this bit is just right here. So you got the whole chart is just this little bit. This whole chart is just this little bit. And then this whole 15-minute chart is, looks like this is this top right here. Looks like if we went out a little bit. Yeah, so this up here is this. So this bit is this. You know, what I'm trying to show you is, okay, here's an L7 tap. This L7 is right here. This is actually a supreme combo. This is a supreme combo move right here. So we've got the 15-minute box. We got a 5-minute L3, can be an L3 or a white zone, and a 1-minute L7. That's all at the same moment. That is a supreme combo. And look at the move. If you do it right and you see that all these are in alignment with the trend, you're really getting in at a 15-minute trend. You know, you can treat this all as one trade, and these are your entry points in a sense. Okay, let me zoom out on the grid. Look at that, that's nice. Let's zoom out. Let's see if we can do it one more time. It's a little bunched up. Didn't want it to be that bunched up because that's a 4 hour. We don't need that. Let me. Okay, one more. All right. So, I mean, here's one first idea I want to share with you guys is that when you see one bite of the cherry, this is one bite of the cherry on the 5 minute. All right, this is a big part of what I wanted to say. All right, so you got a lower low, there's a bite, and then another lower low, and we haven't had another bite yet on this one. I mean, this you might consider these, but within this one bite, this is from here. We had 1, 2, almost a third, you know, and this is like the 4th bite of the cherry. You know, it's a little stretched out on the 1 minute. So it may need to pull back to a 5 minute box at 13, which is still right around here on the 1 minute. If that happens, then you may get your second or another bite off the 5 minute, and that would still not be a second bite on the 15 minute. So what I'm trying to show you is that these patterns are happening on bigger time frames and bigger time frames and bigger time frames. I mean, this is almost looks like the same pattern, but this pattern, right, is made up of a bunch of these patterns, which is the same as this. So this pattern is made up of a bunch of smaller versions of this same pattern. So, you know, it's the fractal conversation. These are all fractals. So everything's happening, patterns within patterns. So if a pattern, if a 3 bites is breaking down and giving you a higher high now and trying to pull up, it's probably because the single bite on the 5 minute is out of gas and it has to pull up. All right, which may not even be a pullback in the 15-minute world at all, or the hour world at all. I mean, all this is happening within one of these candles on the 1 minute. But an hour pullback will look like an uptrend on a 1 minute. Okay, but it's all happening at the same time. So, you know, that's why I'm trying to say if you try a 1 minute trend, for example, and you put a 15 pip stop on it and it stops you out, I mean, honestly, it doesn't even mean it was a bad trade. You know, it just means it was a bad stop, right? Because it just depends on your risk tolerance. You know that this is in an hour trend. So even if you short it at a 1 minute, you know that if you get stopped out, there's a very good chance at a higher level that thing's going to continue, right? So what you could do is a setup where it takes the whole trend into account. And it'll adjust the risk at each entry. So the 1 minute being the riskiest, you put your lightest amount of risk there. You can step up the risk at the 5 minute, step up the risk at the 15-minute box when it hits. As long as they all look like this. And then you can do a couple things. You can add one more time at the hour, or you can stop out at the hour, or you can add one more time at the hour with a swing stop on the hour. Now that trend could go. The whole point of this idea is it could put on a little something at the 1 minute, it could just go. Or it could put on something at the 1 minute and maybe it doesn't make a new low, and then it puts something at the 5 and then it just goes. Or maybe it needed when you got in it, maybe it needed to pull all the way back to the 15 where it put something there. Maybe there's even a supreme combo level and then it goes. This is something I'm going to be kind of programming in. You can kind of do it on your own. You could probably set your risk tolerance, your risk factor. Every setup has its own risk factor. So say for the 1 minute, they all set a risk factor 1, but you could really set this to like 0.3 or something on the 1 minute, and then on the 5 minute you could maybe set it to 0.5. I'm just throwing out ideas. They have to be tested. Maybe 15 minute, you could leave it at 1. Okay, I've only got up to 15-minute trends. I don't have hour trends programmed, but a bounce trade could be a nice hour trend entry. That's kind of the idea of what I'm trying to show you. Is let me also rephrase it by saying it kind of like this. Okay, and I've said it kind of like this before, but so when you get a pattern like this, the price is going to shoot out into the roads, and then it pulls back to the boxes and then out into the roads, hopefully lower lows each time. Soon, maybe that the 1 minute is the one pushing it. It's pushing it. That I look at each one of these boxes as kind of like a gas station, a fuel station, if you will. So if this car, the price is the car on the road, and he gets gas at the 1 minute, and sure enough, it makes a lower low on the 1 minute. This is this move. So from here to here is from here to here. All right, and you get this thing going lower lows off the 1 minute box. This is a one minute box. So we're assuming the whole multi-time frame pattern looks like this. This is what your 1 minute chart looks like. All right, say it's here, boom, okay. And you've got this nice looking grid. You're at the 1 minute box after a lower low. Your white zone phase is 0 on the 1 minute, but your 5 minutes nice and expanded, so you're willing to take the chance as long as this thing breaches out of the white zone, the price and stuff. So it's almost there. So this price now is at the fuel station, and he gets gas. Boom, makes a low. Comes back to the fuel station a second time, tries to fuel up. All right, this is out of gas now. The fuel station's out of gas. It couldn't make the lower low. So it goes up, it breaks the higher high. All right, that's right here. All right, so this little move up is this little up here. It comes down here to a low. Now it makes the higher high. Now you can be sure what that means is the 5 minute needs to pull up to its fuel station. So it needs to go up to the 5 minute fuel station, which is here. All right, so that's what it does. Right? Boom. It happens to be at the L7 in that case. Now, when this is at the L7, it's also at the 5 minute fuel station right here. It's at the box that's actually breached through. If you waited for a dynamic, boom, you got in there, and then it went much lower. See here, I'll show you here. There it is. And look, once it made that move off the 5 minute gas station, once it made that move, look, there's the move right there. It went under the 1 minute box, and the 1 minute box caught it, and it became the new gas station again. So when you get fuel at a higher time frame gas station, that also refuels the lower time frame gas stations, if that makes sense. So refueling your car at a 5 minute level also refuels the 1 minute gas station. So this is what happens. You get fuel, now it runs out of gas again, the 1 minute. So guess what? It's got a, well, let's see. That might have been a 5 minute entry right there. Let's see, 1638. It wasn't close. That's this one. All right, so it hadn't had to go back to the 5 minute yet. I think it's still working on that. This is what we see here. Now, on the if we went back on the 5 minute, we can see the same thing going back before. Whereas, actually, this 5 minute's been working pretty good. But say, there was a move here at 39.25, right here. That's this one. We had a gas, we had a move. It hit the gas station here, 5 minute box. All right, that was, by the way, a 1 minute. You can see these were the 1 minutes, and the 1 minutes failed. Okay, you can't see it. I'm not showing you the chart, but you can imagine. See that? That's where that's what 1 minute trend kicking in right there. Okay, you can see the 5 minutes, so you don't see the line because it's a 5 minute chart. But if you looked at a 1 minute at this time, well, let's just do it at 09. Let's show this new example here at 9:30 a.m. Okay, here it is. So we start our move. Gets under the L7, L1, L7 cross. It's like a fresh boom. So it moves. White zone holds it. Comes back to the gas station. Gas station pushes it out. Comes back to the gas station. Pushes it out, but it can't go lower. See that? Breaks a higher high. That's a sign it needs to go to the 5 minute gas station now. Boom. Jumps up. That's this move. Okay. So this move on the 1 minute was this little guy. And then it shot down to this guy, or I don't know why I said guy, sorry. And then it pulls back up to the 1 minute here and can't make a lower low here, and then it has to go higher, right, to the 5 minute gas station. But guess what? This time, the 5 minute gas station didn't have a lot of gas in it. It attempted to go lower. This was where the 5 minute was out of gas. All right, even though the 1 minute tried to help, it couldn't do it. So the 5 minute was out of gas here, and it had to come up to, guess what? This right here, this is about 9:30. That means it had to come up to a 15 minute gas station. So we're at a 15 minute gas station here, and boom, it goes lower, and the 5 minute now is refueled with gas. See? So it's able to now pick up and start the new fractal. There is the fluster, and then there it is again. All right, boom. All right, so any questions about what I'm showing you here? This is all happening at the same time. So this move down is a series of 1 minute trends happening. And this move down on the 15 minute is a series of 5 minute trends as well happening. Okay? And on the hour, again, that's a series of 15 minute trends. You can see the same dynamic happening on the hour chart. All right. Is there any questions about that brief kind of price action discussion?